Me neither. He's at the top here. It sounds like a fishbowl.
Hey, Steve. Limit the F bombs, please.
Oh yeah. No, I'll make it PG-13. Good times. Can you guys give us an update on how we sound? Not too terrible. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna start talking about the match.
All right, yeah, we're in business here, up and rolling. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm still figuring out how to spell Koen's last name too.
All right, so we're playing Quimunning versus CCT. Looks like the Quimunning starting. I must be allowed to speak, which allows them to get the use pile searches when they end up going down to the audience chamber. So from face value, it looks like the Quimunning deck might be teched against the CCT deck. So I would probably start the game off with giving the nod towards the Quimunning deck in this. Probably, I'd say 60-40% matchup odds right out of the gate.
I have no idea. It's always a crapshoot with this game. It depends so much on the tech and players. I mean, but that sounds about right. Doesn't sound too far off. I mean, most decks are about 50-50. But as you said, probably teched for CCT. I mean, you got to be expecting it in the meta like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Thwatches there says. I mean, how do you not tech against CCT? It's probably the most popular dark deck, so you gotta be expecting it. And I imagine we'll see the same auto setup from CCT here. Play Boba Fett, pick up the prisoner, play the interrupt, transport over. I mean, assuming no missed pulls and everything goes according to plan.
Yeah, Jared and Koen were both on CCT yesterday. So yeah, Jeff had to assume Tekken for CCT was in the meta. So, and I think Werfs mentioned that he had. Nope, that's not me. Werfs had mentioned when he played against Jeff's Quimunning deck yesterday, it was trouble. And Werfs has
Did
been
Werfs
playing.
lose to Jeff yesterday?
Yeah, I believe so. And Werfs is a really good CCT player, especially currently.
I thought, was he not playing his Rops deck yesterday?
Werfs?
Yeah.
He was in the team
Yeah, I know
tournament.
he's playing at the team tournament. I thought maybe he was playing it yesterday as well, but I'm sure I don't recall. Oh, so they must have missed the audience chamber poll or something here. We don't see the usual.
Yeah, I think he verified. I think that's what that cut was earlier.
Yeah, you are probably right.
Guys, Du Bois, he's got something special planned for a second grabber. That'll probably be helpful.
Yeah, second grabber will be handy. Yoshi seems to have some inside information here and says Koen has some spicy tech for mains, so
good.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, actually, talking to Kyle yesterday, I know Kyle and Mike and Chris have been working with CCD quite a bit, and some of the tech that they come up with, against mains is Gragra.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot in CCT.
Because
it stops like that turn one Luke, or just slows you down from getting that early jump.
Hitting them every turn on, and you can do it multiple characters, and that's.
Wait, it's more than once per turn?
I think it's each character it comes into play. I don't pretend to really know how Gragra works, but
I know it's if they spend one, you spend two when you deploy a guy. I'm just not sure the timing on it all.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's subject to the one rule. However,
it could be.
When the main costs 6 out of the gate, and then each main costs 8. And technically, typically around turn 2, even good light side mains might be around like 12 activation. So if you're paying 8 for a main, it's hard to follow up with like a supporting character and battle.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're the CC team, you're fighting against one main per turn. You can deal with that. You can't deal with when multiple mains come down. So usually, what I think the good play against as the light side mains is actually drawing up early. Get to that 12 card hand. Start saving 4s.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when you're going down, you get that. You're losing a guy, perhaps, you know, if a weapon's involved or some spicy interrupts for dark side, maybe you lose a second guy. But light side main starts winning this matchup when they can stay there and then reinforce the next
Right.
turn. Because when they're
Yeah, they don't
reinforcing,
want to be just throwing guys and washing them
Yeah.
away, and throwing another guy next turn and watch him die.
Yep.
So yeah, Koen for his turn pulls the farm with the farm puller. We saw the Jedi Council chamber come out, and then old grumpy Luke and his lightsaber plop down to the farm. Oh, and the sand effect comes down as well. Lightsaber came out the reserve deck with the Sator effect, I believe.
Yep, and he's got the sand card, which will help Luke stick around because a lot of times if you can get multiple destinies, I mean you got what, only a couple ways to get rid of Luke.
Right, CCT does have quite a few ways that add.
Yeah, you got Cad Bane, maybe hidden weapons, maybe some disarmed foolery, you know.
Oh, interesting. So he just moved straight over to the dungeon,
Because he wants.
which yeah puts him one move away from the audience chamber, regardless of where Koen chooses to deploy it.
Well, I think audience chamber has to go on the right side.
No, you can put it on either side.
On either side.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's anticipating him putting audience chamber on the other side. That
Exactly.
way,
Yeah, he wants to be able to move in there in one turn, not have to
That's
spend the turn marching through the dungeon.
Yep.
So yeah, that was some good foresight by Jeff there.
Or like Chap pointed out, a run Luke
that
run.
does set him up for a real nice run Luke run. The following turn, so he can drop another character, battle in the audience chamber, and have Luke already there.
And remember, he did get a use pile search too.
Right. So he's already building his hand up. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. And then he's got the immunity, so now you do need to select a few methods. Now even drawing multiple destinies, you can peel some cards to keep Luke if it comes to that. But if I was Koen, I'd have to be a little aggravated here because usually CCT's got first turn like Boba Fett. Like this is a very untraditional first turn for CCT.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he missed the pull or if he's just slow playing it. Somebody in chat seems to think he's just slow playing it, but it could be either.
Well, I mean, even that. I mean, even just picking up Boba Fett, picking up your prisoner, you can bring him over to the carbon chamber with the interrupt and then pull it again.
Right.
So I mean,
how much is that gaining you though? I feel like you're exposing yourself more than you're gaining, like you're just risking a beat down, but maybe not. I guess you're just as vulnerable to the audience chamber.
If he's got SAG, somebody kill projective telepathy, barrier, all the tricks, yes, perhaps. But the other thing is it's a little bit of a bait too, right? Like if you bring you bring a main and then all of a sudden his next turn, he prevents the battle and then he moves the audience chamber. So
in this situation, what do you think the pull is on the audience chamber? Do you just go Daro, set up the IG-88? I mean, obviously it's going to depend somewhat on what's in your reserve deck.
So this turn, I would be picking up the prisoner from the security tower, which, in my opinion, should have already been done.
I assume that's what he's going to do, is transport Fett to the audience chamber. Yeah, I'm just saying, what do you think he's going to do with the text, the pull in the audience chamber?
Oh yeah, you got to
Daro, you think?
You got to get the IG package going. It's just I don't know how much force Koen has, but ideally, if you could, you'd be pulling Daro, IG, grabbing Boba Fett, and moving over, doing the transfer. That way, when Luke moves over.
Oh yeah, he should be activated. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, only 7 force this turn, so maybe he doesn't even have enough for all that. He just got that passenger deck down this turn. He did have a few saved though, so.
Man, that's tough. I played CCT for a while, and I think I always go first turn Boba Fett, and it's really
you get those 1 in 20 games or whatever where you activate the chamber.
No. That's what I'm saying though is even though you activate the chamber, I still always deploy Boba Fett and pick up. Well, because let's just say light side last turn had a spy, and they just released the captive. And then what happens? Like you just
have to do that in control phase or something. But
I think the virtual text on the security tower just says when you control, but yeah, we'll look up that text. Wonder if Jeff is playing impressive, most impressive for stunning. Depends on what was that. I'm not sure what that card for Dark Side was. That was just played. Oh, I think it was probably Interrupt making the movement
Yeah,
free.
it was the he's all yours bounty hunter.
Yep.
Oh, and so did Proxima come out of
Yep.
hands?
Yep. He deployed Proxima, flipped his objective. How much? He's got no save force, but the the carbon console will let him activate one, so at least he'll have a force.
A bluff or barrier or something.
Or stunning leader. Yeah. Okay. So he activated. Light side's activating. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So activates 11 as opposed to dark sides 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So pretty good activation. He's not going to drain.
Yeah, I still think that's. They were saying in chat, run Luke, run would be really strong here if he's got another solid body to go to the audience chamber with Luke.
Yeah, if he's got run Luke run and like a impressive, most impressive, or a sense.
Well, yeah, and
like dark side could be
or a Qui-Gon, or Bryce Qui-Gon's commuting, but
yeah. Okay, he's saying use 3 if you control on the security tower, and that's why at turn 1, even if I don't have anything, at the worst case is like they have Captain Cassian, and they deploy Cassian for 3, pay 3, release the captive. Their turn 1. All of a sudden they reinforce with that corn or whatever under the circumstance if it's frozen Han or frozen corn. You get that replacement. All of a sudden you're drawing Destiny, canceling with Cassian. Like that's not how CCT wants to start off. So that's why at turn 1 I always go Boba Fett down the security tower. If I don't pull audience chamber, that's fine. I tend to actually move him to the carbon chamber, and then I'll re-pull the interrupt, because then light side at the very least they tend to get a shield, because light side's gonna go to the audience
makes
chamber.
them play their battle plan or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just a bait for light side for me as a dark side player. Let's see. Maybe Ray or General Leia for another use pile as well.
I think he's talking about the other character you could deploy to the audience chamber here.
Yeah. No.
I think those, and he's absolutely right. Those would both be solid options.
You know, it'd be horrible, like General Leia with the Leia's blaster. Like it.
Yeah, that would ruin.
You know, I talked to Chris, and he said he played against this deck, and he said it was horrible for him. So, Ray, why?
Bowie.
He deployed Chewie.
Yeah, Han and Chewie.
He doesn't get a use pile search for that. Yeah.
Doesn't he? Does it have to be a battleground to get a use pile search? I think it's just Tatooine.
I'm baffled. I thought it was Tatooine battleground
site.
I
think it's just Tatooine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they looked at it, and he's doing it, so I tend to think you're right. So he's doing his use pile search now. This tells you 100% he didn't have a run the run.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So the build-up on the non-battleground is interesting to me.
Yeah, that does seem like a strange play. I wonder.
Neighboring? Maybe he's got a neighboring.
Maybe he's got.
And he's prepping for a neighboring beat.
Because you'd think if he was going to go to the chamber, he would have just deployed Han and Chewie there and moved Luke over.
So what? So if he has impressive and he was saving it first.
Are you playing a constellation?
Yes.
Okay. You need to come sign up. Then.
Oh, tell him I'm. Yeah, tell Shoei. Let's see. So he's shuffling his use pile. Yep. Okay. So he shuffled his use pile. So what my thought was is maybe he deployed there and he was gonna neighbor him and he didn't want to get barriered.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe no, he's building up.
It's just picking up, yeah.
So if I'm dark side, like I'm getting Duro, IG going. I'm looking for my get combo to cancel neighboring leads at this
Well,
point.
yeah, you know there's a storm coming to the audience chamber, so you better start preparing now.
Yep. And now projective telepathy. So you know projective telepathy. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be looking for my get combo as a dark side player right now. Just as to prevent the neighboring.
So it looks like Koen's diving into his reserve deck.
Bastion brought up a really good point. Staying with Boba Fett at the prison and draining for the +1 free on turn 2 works so many times. A lot of people forget that the +1 drain bonus works at the non-battleground.
Right, they're not expecting that drain of 1
Yeah,
from a
and you get a
0
free
on
shield
site.
from it, you know. But the other part is I like that you already paid the cost that turn 1. You got Boba Fett. That way, if you had another character turn 2 when you bring over, you can bring another.
Reinforce.
Yeah, because you don't want to have to bury all your tricks early in the game. If you can save the Boba Fett pull for down the road, and you're drawing Destiny naturally, it just seems more aggressively, as opposed to this where light side's building up on your front doorstep, getting ready to invade your house.
So I think that Scum and Villainy came out of the reserve deck, but I'm not quite sure with what.
The objective pulls it once
Oh,
you
that's
flip.
right. The flip side
Yeah.
does pull it.
No, the objective
Right,
once
right.
it's flip pulls Scum
Forgot all
Villainy
about that.
and or docking bays. And at some point here, I'm gonna have to go jump into the constellation event.
Well,
Gotta get my games. Gotta get in them games.
That was Gamal Waronic.
That's the weapon canceller,
He
right?
says I think you have to hit him first before you can hit anybody else.
And he forfeits to use power or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. It's pretty cool text against mains. It helps. I always find like the cool tricks with CCT that I find is like the reoccurring stuff. Like yes, you get to pull cards from your force pile, but it's once per turn, and you need multiple tricks. You know, so the trick with CCT is always maintaining a decent hand to work with. That way you're adding in tricks and not trying to generate tricks from the start. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want that tank to run empty.
Yeah, I'm curious how many. I haven't paid the best attention to size of their hands, so as soon as I find out, let's see. Like,
I think they're both pretty decent sized hands, like they've been deploying and drawing a little bit, like kind of deploying in moderation. Got a cold feet for a shield pull, presumably, yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go check on the cancellation.
Cancellation event.
You're right. Hey, Joey, you got me, right?
Oh, thanks. Anybody else out there want to join me in here?
I'm gonna look around.
All right, send them back.
So I think Eric is saying that he can join,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I mean,
again,
I'm
with
sure
lack of headphones.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fine because we're just going through the speaker now. There's nothing to hear on headphones, anyways, because nobody's remoting in.
Well, if Eric remotes in,
Oh, Eric was. I thought you meant Eric from out there. I thought you meant Koen's buddy.
All
Koen's buddy.
right, so now he's doing a verify. So both players have seen each other's decks. The secrets are out. Everybody knows what's going on with the opposing players' strategies. This is where it gets good. This is where strategy comes in.
Oh yeah, is this the part you like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you might. What was he even searching with?
Side tour? Weapon?
The Jedi Council chamber, maybe. I don't know. All right, here we go. Mace Windu. Comes down. I guess he also does to avoid the +1 by deploying next to the audience chamber.
Does Maze blank out the Fet's game text or make it so they don't draw multiple destinies?
They can't add destinies, I think.
Okay.
He used to cancel it once upon a time.
Oh man, if the Fet's game text was canceled and Boba Fett's virtual game text, it'd just make the matchup really challenging. That's the point. Oh, there comes Clash. First Clash of the game. Are you gonna grab it? You grab it with something special? No?
Looks like
He's just gonna eat it. Okay.
He's chosen Boba Fett to take out of the battle, which at least means the prisoner is safe. He's not releasing the captive this turn.
No, that's true.
Or is he even going to battle this turn? We'll see.
Oh,
there's the
run, Luke, run.
And the stunning leader for the cancel. See if it goes through.
Oh, this is gonna get interesting.
Jeff's still thinking about it.
So as dark side player, what do? Do you move your guys all in front of Chewie at the dungeon? Because you can hold the site for a turn, or do you go?
I mean, you can't move Boba Fett this turn. He's still clashed.
I wonder how much force Jeff has to work with. Maybe he consolidates his guys, moves over, and then dark side player goes and searches for like
So,
Greedo.
I mean, he's only got one active, and I think he's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
No, he's got 4 force there.
Oh, Jeff, I thought you meant.
Yeah. So Jeff's got some force to work with. So even if you pay 2 to move over, and Darkseid brought like Greedo and like the +1 interrupt, the Destiny 5.
So we're gonna get Eric and Charlie in to help.
Okay.
So you're gonna play?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then
Thanks, guys.
Later, Harps.
Hey, Dan.
He did good. That's the first. He was on his best behavior.
okay. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the butt.
Oh, I can just finish this game by myself and remote them in after if you want.
You sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Because we have to actually reset OBS to get that camera into
Yeah,
Discord.
let's not do that in the middle of a game.
Okay.
All right, so just an update on commentary status. We're going to be getting Eric and Charlie, same folks you were hearing all day yesterday with me. They're going to be remoting in shortly here since we can't find anybody on site who wants to join me in this little broom closet we got. But that's going to require a bit of resetting and other technical mumbo jumbo. So we're going to deal with that after this game so we don't interrupt the broadcast. In the meantime, you got to deal with just me by myself and my limited insights into this complex game we all know and love. So anyways, I believe we're still in Jeff's turn. He's trying to decide in the move phase. His battle got canceled, and he does indeed just bring Han and Chewie over to the big old pile at the audience chamber, which is probably smart. You got to figure Koen's coming back at you this turn. He's not going to give up the audience chamber that easy. You know, I'm not sure about that Joker King. Is that a form of movement? Transferring a captive? A perplexing question. One I don't have the answer to. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was, and it feels like it's the captive that's moving, but I mean, it probably isn't because he's inactive. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if you were right and Fed can't transfer the prisoner because he's got that lightsaber clashed in his face. So that was Lady Proxima's text there, flipping a few cards off the top. Looks like he found a wolf he can scoop into his hand. Wolf's not going to do much good in the audience chamber, obviously, but maybe if he drops Null Hutta at some point in the future to get himself around battle plans. Prohibitive cost. So let's see, what characters would be best for Koen here? I mean, Django would add a Destiny. IG with Riot gun. Oh, no, I guess he doesn't run that. He runs other IG. Who wouldn't be the best option here, because as Casey points out, it is indeed a move for the captive. So even if you did have IG, you're not getting the prize onto him this turn. All right, Django can't add with Meijssen, no Fets to add Destinies, so that wouldn't be the guy you want. Cad Bane, maybe cancel some text or some immunity at least. Forlom, cancel some text. So reserve deck search for Koen there. I think he's most likely just checking out what's in his reserve deck, what's in his force pile, figuring out where all his cards are. But he gets that he's all yours bounty hunter, so does not need to give up the verify. I mean, that is a whole bunch of F off that Jeff has stacked up in the audience chamber there. I mean, it feels so bad giving up your chamber, but it feels pretty hard to fight that. I mean, unless you got something to deal with the lightsabers. Totally blanking on the name of the card. Ceasefire, something like that. I don't even know if these decks run Ceasefire anymore. I think it's just 3 swings and 2 Battle Destiny. You got Luke's lightsaber and Mace's lightsaber. Oh, wait, Chewie's lightsaber as well. So yeah, 4 swings, 2 Battle Destiny. I expect they've got Aura Sing in here, yeah. So I mean, that'd be another good character you could throw at the audience chamber. So perhaps the reason he was pulling that he's all yours bounty hunter is, as Lorfic points out, that gets him the free move if he wants to abandon the audience chamber, save him a force on Dengar. Or maybe he was checking his deck to see if IG-88 was in there and he's good to deploy his Daro to get him out, which is indeed what he does. He deploys them to the prison, which strongly implies... Oh shit, are we doing active judging today? Should we tell him? Yeah, I think
You started going, oh shit, he's got the second one. Okay. I like it. I might do it. I think so. After the game, we signed all the we're after the judging guys. You sign them like this, like this, number 2. He's like, what the fuck? That's the last. Well, I want to put this in what you do. Okay. So, if you want to review, yeah, overall, yeah, okay. I think it's still fine.
All right, they do have Phil watching the game out there as an active judge. He had just stepped away for a moment, but agreed with everybody that the prisoner transfer should not be allowed. So they've just, there was a little bit of information he might have gained that he wouldn't have otherwise, but they just popped the prisoner back in the audience chamber and carrying on here. And so Fett remains clashed till the end of this turn, so obviously he's not afraid of getting beat down or anything. He can't be fought. So Jeff has some options here. He can, oh, well, he can't drain because Fet's still there. Obviously, he can. Sorry about the mess. Oof, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna take out the prisoner. Oof. Barely gets him. 5 and a 1 is 6. Needs a Wisa or something here. What's the dark side one? Dark Time for the Rebellion, something. That's a tough break. So now Jeff can spend 3 to drain now since Fet's gone. He can free the captive and download a Core and Horn or a Han, I'm not sure which that was, out of his deck. He can spend 4 to cancel Scum, which is pricey, but it's 100% worth it. Why spend the 4 first, Bastion? Oh, just to bury the Scum, that makes sense, yeah. So that Scum goes underneath the force cards. Yeah, I got you. I'm on board now. Bury it, don't let him get it back. Oh man, good call by Rentable Papa. The lost function on his all yours bounty hunter potentially could have canceled that targeting. I'm sorry about the miss. I wonder if that's just an oversight or a slip up from Koen. Potentially a big one if it is. So it looks like we're on to Koen's control phase now. I think that was the Lady Proxima search. So Jeff seems quite content just to leave his little doom stack there for the time being. I can grab you guys some updates in just a moment here. It looks like Koen might be going into the tank for a minute anyways, so I'm going to step off and I'll grab you some updates, see if we can see what we can see. Let's see, did I miss anything? Doesn't look like I missed much. But yeah, not too much exciting going on out there. There's no blowouts or anything. All the other games are looking pretty even. 3 of the 4 games in the top 8 going on right now are involving CCT. Dark side, you got 3 CCTs and 1 ROPS, it looks like. We'll see if that holds true when they flip sides. Play the opposite deck. Okay, so he had a Django Fett and came back to the chamber. And disarmed, takes out Dengar's Blaster Carbine. Yeah, I missed a lot of the stream this morning with Chris Kelly. Did they announce any erratas to Scum? I thought somebody implied yesterday on stream that Scum was gonna get hit with a minor nerf or something. So yeah, both sides got a big old stack of characters here. Both sides are drawing 2 Battle Destiny. However, the big difference is just light side's got lightsabers and immunity. Oh, that's right. I did kind of glance at the little fishy fella. Yeah, that should take it down a notch. Just taking away Stunning Leader alone is huge. Should be at least enough to shake things up. Knock a few players off of CCT onto something else. Oh, we saw an Anakin pop down there for a second. Yeah, there he is. So Jeff's just stacking even more guys at the audience chamber, which I can't blame him. I mean, I feel like he's going to come out pretty far ahead in this fight, unless Koen has something to stop all these lightsabers and bowcasters. Oh, geez, there's another lightsaber. Yeah, Dengar got disarmed this control phase, and Padme's going to add a destiny to attrition now. And there's the Stunning Leader. See if this one holds up. Yeah, looks like it works. So Koen. Oh, right, but there's guys there that can fight, so it just excludes all leaders and ability greater than 2. So we've now got a little side bet between Chewie, Proxima. Oh no, Proxima's a leader, so it's Chewie versus all the guys on the left. Dengar, Gamal, Iggy. Chewie. So Chewie's going to shoot one of those guys. This is interesting. Chewie's not going to get a Battle Destiny, though. So yeah, he had to target Gamal per his text, which then sends him used when he's hit. Now it looks like a 2 was drawn for Battle Destiny by Darkseid. So that'll put him at, what is that going to be, like 10 power? So yeah, Chewie's forfeit will cover. So nothing too crazy there, just kind of traded his Gamal to get Chewie out of the battle. I mean, honestly, that kind of worked out in Koen's favor. Yeah, I mean, you got Chewie out of there and sent your guy to use pilot. And you can even track him around back to the top of your deck and pick him up with Proxima again. Oh, or just Sheezer, or I'd take any one of those 3 characters. Jabba will be adding the Destiny in the chamber. Aura gets a shot. Shizo's probably the weakest of the three choices. Looks like he's thinking about the Jabba. And indeed goes with the Jabba. Mighty Jabba, of course, adds with an alien leader. It's got Proxima down there. So we'll see if Koen can muster anything that can compete with the glowing blades of energy that are parked on the opposite side of his audience chamber. Because yeah, he can definitely muster enough to come up even with him in a battle in terms of power and attrition and stuff. But his guys are just going to get hacked to pieces by those lightsabers. That would be pretty brutal, Joker King. Yeah, I don't think Jeff doesn't have many cards in his lost pile, but Clash is definitely one of them. So, does he have the force for it? Looks like he might have two up there. Hard to tell from this top-down perspective we get. I guess I missed at some point. Wisa ended up on something special planned for them. Okay, so he's got. Oh, is that the audience chamber pull? I don't think he's ever used that, and we know Aura was in his deck from the Proxima peak. Maybe he runs two of them, but I think that came out of reserve deck with the audience chamber text. So yeah, like I said, this first battle's not going to be bad. I mean, he'll have comparable power and attrition, I think. But it's just the weapons. What do you do against all those lightsabers? Yes, I think that was the soloed Clash. Looks like it targeted Django. Oh, Greedo might put in some work here. Make him pay to swing all those sabers, at least something. Yeah, and Koen does not battle, I think, wisely. Just passes the force back over to Jeff. So we'll see if Jeff wants to battle, and if he does, if he wants to add any more characters into the fray first. Yeah, I would be shocked if he didn't. He seems so favored. Initiate battle, that is. Yeah, chat keeps mentioning Darkseid disarmed, which would be huge. That could be the thing he needs to you know, get through this fight without losing enough cards that he can still hang on to the site. That would cut the lightsaber swings coming against him in half. Lando wax. So that's going to make for, what, a third Battle Destiny plus the 1 to attrition. Potentially excluding a dark side character. Potentially even Greedo to save him a bunch of force on all these lightsabers. He probably does go for Greedo here with Lando, I have to guess. I don't know, maybe getting the Battle Destiny of Proxima out of there is better, but hello there, General Kenobi. Alright, thank you for the correction there. Yeah, Chewie died, so Solo's not adding anymore. For some reason I was thinking Rey was there or something. Obviously I got my wires crossed, but yes, you are correct. There's only 2 Battle Destiny. 1 for ability, 1 for Lando. They are each going to be +1 with Anakin being there. And then Padme's still with a Skywalker or 2, so she's going to be adding to attrition. Man. Don't think Koen's got a third stunning leader. So that looked like Lando. Yep, Lando excludes Greedo. Dioxis, there it is. So I believe that excludes 2 Jedi. That could be the trick he needed, man. Takes a lot of those swings out of the question. Use 2 Force to target 2 Jedi at same interior battlegrounds. Targets may not participate in battle for a remainder of turn. Yeah, simple as that. Luke and Mace are sidelined. Anakin's still there though, and he hacks up Aura Singh to tiny little pieces. And then looks like he's trying to mess her as well. Stop her from firing back. And the mess is successful, no cancelers. So Aura Singh is placed in lost pile. And touche, Yoshi. Yeah, that was pretty spicy when we saw him play it yesterday just to cancel some text. Or definitely saw a Dioxis on stream yesterday. Maybe it wasn't Koen. Jeff's picking a card off sand to cap both players to 1 destiny, and Anakin's not going to be modifying that either, so it's a 2 pi for Jeff and a 5 for Koen in terms of battle destiny. What do we attempt to calculate power here? Let's see, 7. I'm getting about 20 for Koen. Looks like they're getting some help from the active judge there. And let's see, 14. Yeah, probably closer to 25 or 30 for Jeff. So I think Jeff's up by a little bit. It looks like Jeff peeled Solo to cover the attrition, which, as Bastion pointed out, it's not adding with Chewie anymore. I think he did burn that once per game on the Clash as well on Django, which seems a bit strange since Django wasn't adding because of Mace anyways. And then he draws a Baragwin for the attrition destiny of Padme. So that's going to be, what is that, like 10 attrition that Koen's got to eat up here. Or 9.14, 15, etc. Jawa, Dengar, Iggy. They cover 12. Yeah, I didn't see what you saw. There's Lorfic. Might have been some shenanigans, but not likely to matter much in the end. I don't think the Dioxis was able to make enough difference. Jeff just has too many guys there. So yeah, we got Koen's turn here, but I can't think of what he can do to turn this around at this point. I mean, we can try going to space and setting up at the moisture farm. But I don't know if that's a winning line. I mean, you're already so far behind. You've lost so many characters and interrupts in these battles. And even if you do want to go that line, they're still, what are they threatening? A drain of 5, 4, 5 in the audience chamber there. And Koen's just spent so much resources trying to fight for it back that I don't know if he's got the gas to try and satisfy ultimatum or something crazy like that. Or if he even runs Nalhada in here. I don't think I've seen a ship yet. Yeah, that's that's basically where you're at, is living on a prayer. Yeah, Bastion points out that potentially sending a spy, a probot, something to the JCC, threaten a drain of 3 could maybe get you on some kind of equal footing. I mean, maybe Jeff is overcommitted to the audience chamber. Maybe he's drained his hand of characters and has nothing to threaten the P59 who's now sitting by himself on Cloud City. I don't expect that's the case, but we shall find out. So he's left Jabba there by himself. I don't think Jabba was clashed or anything. I think his logic is more that a character plus a Gick is 2 cards. It's a hell of a lot better than a drain of 5. He's switching it to Greedo, staying behind. I think he chose Jabba initially because Jabba costs an extra force to move. Greedo, of course, is immune to sorry about the mess, which I feel like is more important here. If his goal is to block the drain, I'm not in his head, I don't know. But that seems to be what he's doing, is just trying to lose 2 force instead of 5 to that drain, basically, until he can potentially set up ultimatum next turn. What does Greedo even do then? I thought he was. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay, yeah. Weapons fired using Sorry About the Mess must target Greedo if possible. My mistake. He does make Sorry About the Mess very ineffective, but he does not cancel it. Appreciate the correction there. Thank you very much. So yeah, no mess, but he did have a General Leia to try and deal with that P59, who promptly meets an Imperial barrier and is stopped in her tracks, it would appear. Yeah, fair enough. I got to read Greedo's text a little more carefully. He's also another advantage of leaving Greedo behind, is he sticks all those characters there. Jeff was thinking about trying to neighbor him out of there. And Greedo says, no, sir. Little green man's putting in a lot of work. But his time is about to come to a very abrupt end, facing down half of the cast of Star Wars in the audience chamber. Yeah, this is obviously just completely one-sided blood. Oh, he grabs the kick. That's General Leia in the carbon chamber, to answer the question in chat. Judges got involved about something there. It doesn't look like anything major, though. Now that Greedo's dead, the neighboring comes out so bad. Whew. That could have been a lot worse for Koen if Greedo hadn't stopped that neighboring earlier in the turn, because now all these characters have participated in battle, and even though it still is the battle phase, they cannot fight again. So he picks up about half that stack and just slaps it over on Cloud City. Looks like Luke, Lando, and Mace stayed behind. Which means, what would that be? Anakin, Padme, somebody else. Forgot who the other character was there. Way more than P59 can handle in any situation. But as I've said, between the barrier and the fact the rest of them have already battled, none of these characters can actually initiate this turn. So Koen activated about 10 or 12 there. It looks like his reserve deck and force pile are about the same height. I thought he would have been a bit lower on life force than that, but I mean, I think it's safe to assume he's got about 20 here. I'm sure Jeff has significantly more than that. He's hardly taken any damage this game, except for like characters in battle. Proxima is still at the Tatooine Jabba's Palace dungeon, doing a search, but coming up empty-handed. So, yeah, I mean, what characters does Darkseid have left? He's got a Probot, a Woof, Maybe a couple other pilot-y type guys. Some crazy Gonaglee mort or something. Wouldn't mind getting a peek at Koen's hand just to see what kind of fuel he's got in that tank, if any. But he's pondering his options. Attacking the audience chamber is slightly more appealing now, I guess. But he's just not going to be able to do it. So Twi'lek for an effect. Oh, what does Twi'lek do? That's the virtual Twi'lek. Well, downloads an alien leader or Twi'lek to the audience chamber. And also pulls the passenger deck right on. It's a pretty good card. So right, we did see Shizor in an earlier Proxima flip. So we know he's got him still. And out he comes with the Twi'lek. Light side, of course, has more than enough ability to satisfy Prince Shizor's game text. About 3 times as much, to be exact. I mean, if anybody in chat's got any ideas, I personally can't really think of a decent line that Koen can take to get himself out of here. I mean, like I said, move to the farm. That's one battleground. I'm really starting to doubt at this point if there's a system or ships in this deck. One for Django, 2 for Jabba. P59 goes and hides in the corner that is the security tower. Yeah, there you go. Another Dioxis could really put in some work there. But, I mean, that saves you for a turn. Maybe you beat up on little Lando for a turn. But then Luke and Mace just come right back. They're not going anywhere for any period of time. I guess a battle phase, but... yeah, I think we're just going to sit here and watch the final stages of this one play out. Not to put Koen down or anything. He's a great player, and he's shown it by getting in the top 8. Much respect, but I just don't see how he gets out of this one. But that's why I'm on this side of the camera, not that side. Okay, so he's got the Jabba's Haven as well. That could potentially, you know, get some more gas in the tank. Pick up an alien out of Lost Pile. We did see the Probot in his hand as well, so he's got the option to go into the JCC. He is on, oh no, because he got chased off the second battleground, so now Coward's just going to nuke that drain. All right, so Jared's telling me to do some giveaways here. So first of all, we're going to do the sticker book. So in order to get a chance at winning some stickers, you got to email tournaments at Star Wars CCG, I think. Holotheater at starwarsccg.org. Somebody will post it in the chat, I expect, the email. And you are going to have to email them with the name of a card. And today that card is Dioxys. Oh, thank you, Bastion. I misread that. That was not his hand. That was the Proxima reveal that showed us the Probot and the Jabba's Haven, which could have helped. But yeah, so just email the token card Dioxys to Hollow Theater at Star Wars CCG, and you can get a chance at winning some of those sweet, sweet stickers. Yep, there you go. Jared's got the link posted in chat. We're also going to give away potentially an Imperial Decree AI foil virtual slip. And we're going to give that to the first person who can name 4 moons of Jupiter. How's that sound? I'm going off topic here. We're going real life outer space instead of Star Wars outer space. 4 moons of Jupiter, and you can get yourself a Fancy Pants AI Imperial Decree AI virtual slip. Idea track's halfway there. Oh, but King of Jokers comes in with the steal. Well, of course, it's something you could Google, Dorsch. I mean, I feel like most people here could look up something quicker in Scomplink. So I was trying to, I don't know. But congratulations, Joker King, winning yourself a Fancy Pants virtual slip, all shiny and new and crisply cut corners, and slip it right over that Imperial Decree with that funny colored Stormtrooper on the front, and you get a new shiny Stormtrooper on the front of your Imperial Decree. Congratulations on the upgrade. Oh, look at that. He did have the system. And Chella Afra goes for free. So he's making some moves here. He's putting up a fight. He's not out yet. Don't count him down. It's a Washington Nationals hat. I'm not even a big baseball fan. I got it at a Modell's that was going out of business for like $5. Oh, Yoda quickly dispatches any dreams Afra might have had of punching a drain of 3 through. Yeah, I'm not sure what Silver Glen's on about. What you want to enlighten us about what you're talking about with the shields? Happy to listen to your insight. I think we've got the scoop now, perhaps. Well, I mean, it is match play, so I mean, every diff point counts. So whittle them down a little further. Yeah, there's the handshake. Well, that is it for round 1. Yeah, let me get an exact number for you. I'll be right back. Yeah, so the diff in that first game was 12.
The diff was 23.
Oh, the diff was 23.
Yeah, 12
Sorry,
in lost
12,
pile for
12
Jeff,
was the lost pile count.
and 40 lost pile for
Yeah.
tuners.
Okay, so diff was 23, 12 in lost pile for Jeff, 40 in lost pile for Koen. Thank you, Eric. That was the first game. We do have results in all the other games as well. Brian Fred won his first game by double digits, I think less than 20. Joe won his first game by, I think they said 12. And, oh crap, who was it? Who was the other game?
Yeah, you lost game.